What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the WarnerCast. Thank you all for tuning in. Is this episode 37 or 38? I can't remember. This week, or today anyways, are the Buffalo
Yeah.
Sabres the best team in the NHL? That and more will be answered on this edition. Now, we're going to start off with our known tradition here of trivia. Colin, it's your turn. What have you prepared? What do you have in store for me this week? Or today? God, I keep getting confused.
I do have for trivia NHL trades.
NHL traits. Okay. I like stuff like this, so
Yeah.
maybe I have a chance.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, question number one. Only one out of the top five NHL all-time point leaders has never been traded. Who was it?
Okay, top 5 point leaders. Gretzky, he was traded. Howe, maybe. There's Yager, there's Francis, and then there's one more. Gordie Howe was never traded. He was in Detroit, and then he went and signed with the WHA in Hartford. So it's Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe, right? Is that it?
Yes, Gordie Howe was never traded.
All right. One for one. Question number two.
Question number two. What was the reason that Patrick Waugh was traded from the Montreal Canadiens to the Colorado Avalanche?
I do not remember the date. I believe it was December of 1995. There was a game between the Montreal Canadiens and I cannot remember the other team. Patrick Waugh was starting goalie that night, and he got shelled. He ended up allowing 9 goals, and the reason that he wanted out of Montreal was because normally when a goalie's getting shelled like that, they get pulled out of the game. The backup goes in. That did not
Yeah.
happen in this scenario. The
hmm
coach left Patrick Waugh in there. After 9 goals, finally Mercy pulled him. And then on the bench, as he was getting off, Patrick Waugh
Yeah.
talked to the owner, if I'm not mistaken, it was, and
Yeah.
said, I want out. And then a trade was done a few days later.
Yep.
Question number
Huh.
3.
Huh. What was the Yager trade from Pittsburgh to Washington?
I don't know that. Oh, man.
Yeah, this one's a more difficult one. It's just I was looking at trades and these people were not very good.
How many pieces were in the deal?
Three.
3. Okay. If I get 2 of them, can we see that? Can we say that's a win?
Yeah. I don't think you will, but
Was there a first round pick involved? Just gonna throw that in there.
nope.
Was there a
Just
draft?
they're
It was 3
nope.
players.
Just three players. Yep.
No idea. No idea.
Yeah, I didn't think you would have that one.
Who are the 3?
Chris Beach, Ma- Michael Siviak, and Ross Lupus Lupasuchik.
How do you only get those 3 guys back for Yarmir Yager? That is.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know how much points they had, but I'm pretty sure none of these guys were ever good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know a single one of them. So.
Yeah, neither do I. Neither did I.
All right. Question number 4. Shoot it out.
Question number four. On the day that PK Subban was traded for Shea Weber, two other big moves happened. What were
Steven
they?
Stamkos
And
re-signed with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Taylor Hall was traded 1-for-1 with Adam Larson. A painful day
yeah,
for
I
Leafs
didn't even
fans
get to.
and
Yeah,
Leafs fans and Oilers fans, because
yeah, I
everyone
didn't
was.
even get to finish. I was about to say, and one of them wasn't a trade, but
I have that day ingrained in my mind because it
yeah,
was it was a day where not only did I feel joy in the fact that the Leafs weren't going to get Steven Stamkos, but I also felt immense sadness in Taylor Hall being traded away for Adam Larson. No offense to Adam
yeah,
Larson. He ended up being a decent
yeah,
defenseman, but
hmm
Taylor Hall beside Connor
yeah,
McDavid, give me more. Come on.
and Leon Draisaitl.
franchise title. All right, stop burning me. Question number 5. I think I'm doing
Question
pretty
number
well.
5. Yeah. Question number 5. What was, or well, this trade is known as the trade, the Wayne Gretzky trade, and what did the Oilers get in return for Wayne Gretzky?
How many pieces were there?
Let me count here.
I think it's 6.
1, 2, 5. Yeah, 6.
6. Okay. If I get half of them or more,
Okay.
4 out of 6, let's just say.
Okay.
$15 million is one of the things they got back. Which
Yep.
Gretzky only was
A
making
lot of
$3 million
money.
that year, so 5 Wayne Gretzky's worth of money. There were
Yeah.
2 first-round picks in that deal, right?
Not 2.
3.
Yes, 3.
3. Okay, hey, 4 out of 6.
Yeah. Did you
Let
want to guess the
Yeah, I'm
players?
gonna try and guess a player or two because it wouldn't be fair. I remember watching the Steve Dangle video on this, so I know I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember who were the guys. I don't know. I don't know. I blank. I can't.
Okay. One of them was Jimmy Carson,
Jimmy Carson,
and the other one was Martin Gelnias.
Jelena maybe. Probably Jelena, if anything.
Yeah.
Gelinas.
Yeah.
Jelena. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I think Jimmy Carson was pretty good. I know he was like a young piece, and then the
Yeah.
Oilers ended up winning the cup that year. So in a
Yeah.
way, hey, all I'm gonna say is this: people can harp on the Wayne Gretzky trade all they want. The only team that got a Stanley Cup out of that trade was the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
They're the only team. And if you,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I personally like to think that if you the whoever wins the more Stanley Cups is the winner of a specific deal, and
Yeah.
this deal helped the Oilers win the Stanley Cup. So
Yeah.
we can argue if they could have won more. I don't know how likely it is that they would have won more even if they
Yeah.
had kept Gretzky, because
Because $15 million.
yeah,
That's 15 like necessary. That's
mm-hmm.
15 All Stars
Yeah.
if you think about it. 1 million. Let's say $1 million per person. That's 15 All Stars.
Not to mention, you even look at the league like after 1990. 1991 and 92 were going to the Penguins, and I don't know if anybody's beating those Penguins teams. I mean,
Mm-mm.
Lemieux, Yager were on both of them. Ron Francis was on the second one. Like, they had so much talent on that team. I don't think that you're beating them. So
Yeah.
it would have been crazy though to see a battle between Lemieux's Penguins and Gretzky's Oilers. That would have been
Yeah.
2 years in a row too. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the trivia.
Mm-hmm.
I did all right. I did all right.
Yeah, you did pretty good. I
I'm
was not expecting that.
I mean, I have a pretty good memory of recent stuff, so
Yeah.
when it's recent, I think I got it spot on. But
Yeah.
that what was it? The one I got wrong that I just completely blanked on.
The Yager
The
trade.
Yager trade. That was the one.
Yeah, I wasn't even expecting you to get that, to be honest.
That should have been number 5, if anything. That should have just been the one
Yeah.
that one that was a
Mm-hmm.
stumper. But yeah, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you,
Yeah.
Colin, for the trivia
You're
this
welcome.
week. Next week, it's my turn. I gotta put him through some hell. And okay, let's stop lagging now. I know that my internet is getting tested right now because I'm trying to load up Twitter and stuff like that. NHL news, anyone?
Yeah.
Hey guys, guess what? I don't know if you thought this was a thing that would happen. Evander Kane is in the news. You know, Evander Kane is one of those guys you never get any stories about him. You know, always a quiet, responsible locker room guy. You never hear anything outlandish about him. It's always just he seems like a chilled
Yeah.
out, relaxed tempo guy. He's
Yeah.
been suspended 21 games for violating the COVID protocols. Due to what we believe, if I'm not mistaken, was a fake vaccination card. First things first. Oh my god, he got suspended. Like I understand it's a big deal, but on the other hand, like Tom Wilson got no games and Evander Kane gets 21 is mind-boggling to me. I'm two completely
Yeah.
different scenarios, but uh, I don't know how to feel about that. I understand why they suspended him, but I'm just boggled by 21 games.
Yeah.
Not, but I think it also should be noted as well, though, that even if he wasn't suspended, those 21 games, he wasn't playing them. I don't think he's playing this year. He is too intriguing to put onto the ice. Too much controversies, whether proven or not. And I think he's KHL bound. Hopefully he'll take his time during suspension, learn how to speak Russian, and get ready to go over to the KHL because that's probably where he's going. So yeah, Evander Kane, 21 game suspension just for violating those COVID protocols. That doesn't even factor in any of the other investigations on his name right now.
Yeah.
Um, let's move from that. I just want to kick off with that. Now let's move into
Yeah.
talking about our teams because our teams so far this season, I feel like we've had a tale of two different teams here to start. One team that I cheer for is not only living up to expectations but arguably breaking them. Meanwhile, your team needs to call up the University of Toronto for goaltending help. I'm going to start with the Oilers just because why not? I'm just, oh man, we beat Calgary on the weekend, 5-2 in Edmonton. Yeah, great game, great game. Zach Hyman doing the breakaways again. Connor
Hmm.
McDavid casually gets a hat trick. Calgary, you know who your dad is. Oh no, we have rotated here, folks. This is not good for the setup. So, yeah, I think he's just gone for a minute. I'm just gonna give it a minute. You know what? I'm gonna shamelessly self promote, folks. If you're listening to the podcast right now, Sorry, Colin. I'm just self promoting quickly while
That's
you're
okay.
gone. If you guys are watching the podcast right now, make sure to check out some of the other videos I have on my channel. Tomorrow night, Oilers Ducks. You'll see the reaction video coming up right when the game's over. You'll see me make a video. So yeah, make sure to check that out. Anyways, back to what I was saying about the Oilers. Zach
Yeah.
Hyman was just phenomenal again. The offense looked great. Mike Smith stopped like 46-48. So much for him being a washed 39-year-old goalie. Almost all of Leafs community fans, all of them, just saying all that. The third line scored. This is like a revelation in Edmonton. Like the third line was able to
Yeah.
find a way to take the puck from outside of the net and put it into the net. It was a fluky goal in which Warren Fogle shoots the puck off a flame and Derek Ryan kind of just slides underneath Jacob Markstrom. And I think the best part about this is we got to humiliate the Calgary Flames, which is
Yeah.
always a fun thing to do for Oilers fans. We
Hmm.
played them in their season opener and then beat them. And not to mention their dad, Connor McDavid, got a hat trick to boot there. I think that's at least, I think that's his third hat trick against the Calgary Flames in his
Yeah.
career. He owns them. He owns them.
Hmm.
He is their dad. He is their legal guardian. He should buy the team when he retires. That's how much of a dad he is of the Calgary Flames. Like, he just owns them. Leafs fan who did not stay up to watch the Oilers games, any thoughts on some of the words I'm saying?
Yeah. McDavid, pretty good.
He's a pretty good player. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, now switching over to your team. Now here's the fun thing, folks. Did you watch the game on Saturday?
I was not able to because I was at my cottage, but I did watch something else that involved the Leafs. I watched 2 episodes of the documentary, and then I
Okay.
didn't have any more time to because I was tired.
We
And
will
this was
talk about
yesterday.
we will talk about the documentary here in a few moments. I just want to start off by gloating about the fact that I have watched more games that your team has played in this year than you have. You
Yeah.
watched two, I watched the third one. I watched it. I watched at least I think the third period of it, but still counts.
Yeah.
The Toronto Maple Leafs. So let's start on Thursday night because me and you watched it. Me and you, after the podcast was done, me and him sat here and just watched the game on Discord, and we watched the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leaf in the new way. They used to choke leads. Now what the Leafs do is go down by a lot and then almost come back. Get
Yeah,
optimism
and then
so high
yeah,
and then blow it.
they make you put your arms up but not cheer.
Yeah, like
That's what they do. They make you get
so
excited, one goal away, and it's like, oh, and it's even worse because we got Antoine Forsberg saved.
Antoine for man, you guys need to like if you have not joined the Discord that I have, that is in the link below by the way. You need to join it because me and him were in Discord last night. And man, when that end game ended, I went over the top with it. I got all the sound effects, just all of them, and just started. His face was so disappointed. He watched
Yeah,
his team blow so many chances to beat Ottawa, and I now get to rub it in his face that that game happened. But that is surprisingly not the craziest thing that happened to the Leafs.
no,
Because the next day we found out that Peter Mrazek's hurt. He's hurt badly. And the day after that, the news broke in the afternoon, and I don't know if you caught this or not. I imagine
yep,
you
I did.
did. The Leafs did not have enough salary cap to call up Michael Hutchinson or another AHL goalie. So they were forced to hand out an amateur tryout contract to Alex Thomas, a goalie out of the
No, it was Alex Bishop, I think.
Alex Bishop. I can't even remember. That's how irrelevant he was, but that is just funny. Alex Bishop, a goaltender out of the University of Toronto on a tryout contract. Um, oh my god, this is outrageous. I just want to point out, when you look at the numbers, I'm pretty sure that this is true. I think Alex Bishop has a better win ratio. So games when he's on the team has a better win ratio than like Riley Nash did last year. Because Riley Nash only played the playoff games and the Leafs lost. So yeah,
Yeah,
Alex Bishop is more successful, a more successful Maple Leaf than Riley Nash was, and he never even played. Just throwing that in there. There goes the
yeah.
sixth round pick that probably turned into a superstar one day. Um, yeah, Alex Bishop was on the bench, but the Leafs ended up winning the game. They didn't really have any threat of losing it. I'll be honest. In the third, they got the lead and clamped down. Their best game of the year by far. Who though? It's gonna get interesting in Toronto. Austin Matthews debuts tonight in the Big Apple in New
Mm-hmm.
York. Michael Hutchinson is backup. He is expected to play a game this week, and who knows when Peter Mrazek's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be back.
I think it's 2 weeks, but that could be.
Well, it is a groin injury though, and that's not good for goalies to have to deal with because that normally leads to more problems down the line. Uh, so yeah, Colin, even though you didn't watch the game on Saturday, your thoughts on what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking like right now?
It's in. I don't know. Like, it's just so interesting. Like,
Quick,
they're
give your hot
looking.
take. Give your hot take. Do they make the playoffs or do they miss them?
Yes, they made the playoffs.
They do. They do.
I'm obviously gonna say that, like, even though, like they could be a team that doesn't have. They could be if their third line was their first line and Matthews and their first two lines didn't exist. I'd probably still be saying they make the playoffs.
Hmm. Okay.
But I think they actually will, or
Okay.
they should,
They
unless.
unless an epic collapse in which I will laugh at takes place.
Yeah, that
Oh,
would.
please, please, if there are hockey gods that exist, please let the Leafs miss the playoffs. Let it come down to Boston or Toronto making it, and let the Leafs lose. That would be so hilarious to me. That would be incredible. The fifth year Boston would knock Toronto out of the playoffs in a Big Four sport. Do it. Hockey gods, you know what to do. Or have them lose in the first round. I don't care. One of the two, you know? But yeah, so we'll see how the Leafs end up doing tonight against the Rangers, who honestly are looking pretty good. I mean, They had that rough first game, but Alexis Lafreniere looked really good against Montreal on the weekend. And if there's ever going to be a team that allows a rookie or a sophomore, a young player like that to blow up, it's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
As the camera has went out again, so we're flipped again. But hey, it's fine. Hopefully his camera comes back in a minute here. I don't think he can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Okay, I was
I
good.
just was kind of babysitting. I wasn't babysitting, but
Oh,
was listening for my
oh,
brother, and he
little
was just calling my name.
little
So I just
brothers.
went down.
Okay, little brother things I
Oh,
completely understand. I'll self-promote a little bit more. Folks, also make sure to subscribe to the channel to make sure you do not miss an episode of this wonderful, fine, beautiful, well-constructed, well-thought-out, thoroughly planned podcast that we definitely do not decide on the day of when we're recording it. So make sure you do subscribe to see more content like this. So, we've talked about Edmonton, we've talked about Toronto. Let's talk about, and let me check this just to make sure it's true, because I don't know if it is yet or not. I think it might have changed, but I don't know. Let's take a look, as we're getting some lag on my end here because my internet is really bad. I think we're synced. Hey, I think we're synced back up. For the moment until I click standings, and here we go again.
not real.
And I'm waiting for standings to load. Let's click league. Do not take forever. Okay, the Buffalo Sabres are currently the 6th best team in the league. The Buffalo Sabres. Now, I know that you were gone all weekend, but Colin, you missed truly.
They were in first.
Yes, they were. And then I think Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
had an overtime loss or a win or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Buffalo Sabres, there something happened on the weekend while you were gone that was truly mesmerizing. The NHL, which is historically great at marketing the game. I guess they called up Sportsnet a while back and they were like, so, you need an afternoon game to put on TV on Saturday. All right, great. We know what's going to draw all the fans in. They put Arizona, Buffalo, matinee game in Canada. They did it. They did it. It was on Sportsnet, all the channels on Sportsnet in the afternoon. And Colin, we have been building up here how it's going to be a tank bowl between these two. Oh, it was such a good tank bowl.
Oh
Two
God.
regulation goals that came fairly quickly between each other. Like, both teams trying to lose. The overtime was not good. And finally, Buffalo won. So, for those of you saying that Buffalo is the worst team in the league by far, people putting them in their own category, don't worry. Arizona's down there with them. It's Arizona and Buffalo. And so far,
Yes.
Buffalo is, depending on how you look at it, they're either winning or losing the Tank Bowl. If you win the Tank Bowl by beating the other bad team, they're winning the Tank Bowl. If you win the Tank Bowl by getting the number 1 overall pick, then technically they're losing the Tank Bowl right now because
Yeah.
Arizona lost to them, meaning Arizona. Actually, no, Arizona also got a point out of it because it went to a shootout. So,
Yeah.
yeah, let the Tank Bowl reign supreme. This is going to be a great storyline.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally going to be a race for the bottom. And I also love the fact that there were barely any fans in the game. Like, barely any
Oh
fans.
yeah.
Because let's face it, who's going to a game between the two teams that are actively tanking? They couldn't even save this game by putting it on in the afternoon, where kids wouldn't even have to stay up a little bit late to go to it. They couldn't even save it by doing that. Desperate times, man. Buffalo and
Yeah.
Arizona are so screwed. And now there's
Mm-hmm.
Jack Eichel to Tampa Bay rumors as well. That's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Because, oh yeah, Nikita Kucherov's now hurt. And
Yeah.
for the second year in a row, the Tampa Bay Lightning might be able to put him out on LTIR for a long time. And I bet you he will be ready to go by day one of the playoffs. I
Oh
guarantee it.
yeah.
Game 1 of the playoffs, he'll be ready to go. They're gonna keep him out for like an extra 3 months for precautionary reasons. You know,
Yeah.
they'll take him off LTIR to go to the Olympics, just so there's no shenanigans, and then put him right back on until
Yeah.
he sustained an injury, and then they'll be able to trade for Jack Eichel. I don't think it actually happens, but seriously,
No, but
do we fold the league if Jack Eichel goes to Tampa?
uh, honestly, I prefer Jack Eichel to go to Tampa than Jack Eichel to go to Colorado or Vegas.
I'd rather see him go to Vegas. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I know Vegas fans can be kind of pretentious, but if Tampa got him, if Tampa Bay got Jack Eichel, A, people would complain about the salary cap the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And B, the Tampa Bay Lightning would have the ability, if they wanted to have Steven Stamkos as a third line center. No, we're not sending Jack Eichel to
Yeah.
Tampa. Vegas,
Yeah.
pony up,
Yeah, that makes
grab
sense.
every other prospect and multiple first round picks, and Jonathan Marchessault for all I care. Make the
Yeah.
thing happen. Do the
Because like
thing.
Vegas, yeah, Vegas makes the most sense out of like the good teams because they need a superstar other on offense.
They don't need a superstar on offense. They got Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone. I'd argue
Oh,
that
but they need but they need like that like
that center.
yeah, they need like that guy, I guess.
William Karlsson's just not good enough to be a number one center. Or Chandler
Mm-mm.
Stevenson, I think, as well as the other guy.
Yeah, that's
I want to see him go to New York.
yeah, I guess that'd be fine too.
Capo Caco, throw a draft pick. Like, honestly, I think we're still overrating the value for Eichel because at this point, I mean,
Yeah,
he's probably worth nothing, let's face it.
yeah.
But, yeah, so I don't know what to think about this. I mean, Jack
Hmm.
Eichel, we'll see if he does get dealt. We'll see if it's just a smoke screen. It could go either way at this point, really, if we're being honest. Um,
Yep,
yeah, moving on. Let's talk about it. All or nothing. You watched the first two episodes, Colin.
yep.
I don't have Amazon Prime, so I didn't watch it. Colin, do the thing.
Okay.
What did it have to offer?
So I'm pretty sure I might have also watched like halfway to the third episode. Can't remember. But one thing that I noticed the most is those veteran players help, especially the guys I noticed were Jumbo, Muzzin, and Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were probably either like shown the most or they just talked the most. They showed the most energy, which is good out of your veteran guys. I was like, yeah, a couple of veteran guys are good, but not the best thing. But that really, like Joe Thornton was a great guy to have in the locker room, and same with like Muslin and Simmons. Yeah, those guys were just great. And Keith, Sheldon Keith, he he's a very two-sided coach. Like he'll be very happy, and then he'll, he'll be swearing Sheldon Keith.
Mm-hmm. I
There's
think
two sides.
there was an early release clip
Yeah.
showing that Sheldon Keefe was not afraid to say the
Nope.
F word
Nope.
just all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
You haven't even gotten to the playoff part yet, man. Like, that's.
Nope. Uh-huh.
What.
And
Do you remember, like, what point maybe you got to of the season from what you watched?
what I remember is okay, we got to the point where we won like those 3 games against Edmonton. And
Okay.
I think I'm at the end of my game, and then we got to the point, I remember I got to a point where like the Jets and Leafs were like 10 points apart, and then that was game 39. So I
Oh,
think I
so.
got,
So you got across the Ottawa game.
yes, I did. I did get across that game.
What was I imagine they did a segment on that. What was that like?
Uh, yeah, they did a little bit of segment. I think, um, yeah, Sheldon Keith was not happy.
Wasn't happy. And I don't.
It was very interesting though.
All right, so you gotta continue watching that. Um,
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, and like Jack Campbell, he is just such easily the happiest guy on the team. Like he'll be walking around and he'll be like talking to like the camera crew. Have a good day. And they'll be like, "Oh, you too," and he'll be like, "Thank you." He just talks to everyone. And he literally messaged his barber after a win at 1 a.m. to say that he likes his haircut so much. Like only Jack Campbell.
he is literally, if Canada had a person, if
Oh
Canada was a
yes.
person, like he's like honestly, I if Canada were a person, I don't know how else to put it. Like
Yeah.
that man, it's good. It is interesting to see that how much character the Leafs had, and that was one of their big problems.
Yeah.
The lock. Oh, it's a young locker room. Who do they turn to? They had all these guys to turn to, all these veterans that were good leaders. They had so many good people in there, and they still fell apart. So,
Hmm.
you've got to do some. Here are the things I'm looking for out of the next few episodes that I'd love if you could try and highlight. I want to
Yep.
know, and I like I said, I wish I could watch it, but I don't have Amazon Prime, and I'm not paying for that. I what was the atmosphere like? If they, I hope they show it after the two Vancouver games, after Vancouver just came out of protocol. Like they weren't playing for a month, and then Vancouver comes back and plays Toronto and beats them in two straight games. I want to know what that's like.
Yeah.
We've seen a clip of what the locker room is like going into the overtime of Game 6 on Steve Dangle podcast channel. Um, I want to know what that. And I also want to know what like the ending looks like. Like, does it? I want to see where does it end. Does it end on like a we'll get him next time note, or like where do we leave off on that? So
Yeah.
finish off that series at some point. I mean,
Yep. I will.
not tonight. He has a hockey
Yeah.
practice at 9 p.m. tonight because
Hmm.
Ontario is stupid, and I don't know why
Yep.
we're so dumb. But yeah, so that is all or nothing about the first half review.
Yep.
So let's do a little bit of a. It's not. It's probably not worth a preview because it's already happening. It's Leafs Rangers is on. I think it's in a few moments. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it's the first time that the Leafs are playing an American team since the bubble. Oilers
Yeah.
go through the same thing tomorrow night against the Anaheim Ducks. Um, and that's happening in Edmonton at 9 o'clock. I don't have to go to bed at 1:30. I can go to bed at 12:30 tomorrow. Cool, nice, slight improvements.
Yep.
And not to mention Austin Matthews is debuting tonight, his season debut.
Yes.
So I cannot wait for him to get injured again. Hopefully I haven't just cursed them.
I
Hopefully I
swear to
haven't.
God.
Oh gosh, I'm uh guys, if Austin Matthews gets injured tonight, this is the end of the podcast. Uh that's it. He will
Yep.
refuse to talk to me ever again. Cut off all
Avails. Yeah.
communications. Everything along those lines. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I know it's an extremely short episode, but honestly, I don't want to keep you for long because you have a busy night ahead of you, and also there's not a whole hell of a lot left to talk about. And so
No.
I think we ended here for tonight. I think
Okay.
I think we ended here for tonight. And then we pick back up. I don't know what day is gonna work best for you.
I
I
have hockey again on Friday at the same time.
Does Wednesday work?
Yeah, if I'm not doing anything, it should be fine.
Well, then, folks, expect a podcast on Wednesday because I don't want podcast interfering with the analytics for my Thursday and Friday videos because we have a back to back on Thursday and Friday. So
Yep.
we
Okay.
will meet you all again this Wednesday. We'll talk about this game, we'll talk about the Oilers game, and we will
Hmm.
talk about any other news going on. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all on the next one. Goodbye for now.